Hello, welcome to Ruses Brews. We're your hosts. I'm Bitch 1.
And I'm Bitch 2.
Today's subject is going to be Wayfair cabinets, the conspiracy surrounding it. This is the very first episode, so we apologize for any tangents we go off on. This is not going to be structured well, but we hope you enjoy.
Found some individual threads where people are sort of discussing it.
Okay.
So, the title of this one was has anyone ever heard of this Wayfair sex trafficking conspiracy theory? I don't usually buy into stuff like this, but it's creepy as fuck. And then it's just there's some discussion in the comments.
Okay. Can you send me that link?
Yeah. And then I have another Reddit thread about Wayfair responding to it. Responding to the inquiries, I guess.
I bet that's full of people I bet they're just like, yo, this is baseless as shit. There's no proof. And they're like, yeah, well, the guilty would say that.
That's exactly what I'm imagining. I sent you the first one. I'm going to check out the second one.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see. What are we into? Has anyone ever heard of this Wayfair sex trafficking? Oh my god, get off. No, get off my screen. Sex trafficking conspiracy theory. My friend just brought it to my attention, and I don't usually buy into it, but it's creepy as fuck. Let's see what people are saying. You guys really think they would leave such a hard paper trail and allow financing for this type of thing?
Apparently, most of the kids that they thought it was named, the shit was named after, aren't even missing anymore. A lot of them have either been found or...
Fantastic. Let's see. Theories dumb as fuck. What the fuck kind of cabinet sells for $15,000?
And so apparently Pizzagate started because people on 4chan referred to child pornography as cheese pizza.
Ew.
Because CP, cheese pizza,
okay.
And so that's where the Pizzagate thing started.
That's grody.
That's so fucking dumb.
Jesus Christ. Services provided if you ever get... No, what is this? This is not... None of this has anything... Where's the rest of this thread? Is this it? View... I see.
Yeah, I was about to say on web it should tell you to view more comments or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sitting here what the fuck? It's just random Twitter posts. Please keep in mind that these theories are associated with and likely originated from QAnon, which is an incredibly dangerous cult. Not saying anything about the Wayfair theory in particular, because there's a lot of discussion before my post, and I also just don't have time to research, but please be aware before you follow links into QAnon territory or go down rabbit holes that will very rapidly lose their integrity/coherence. For those that don't know, QAnon is a far right-wing apocalyptic web of conspiracy theories, and it is literally ripping families apart left and right. My best friend's dad has been lost to this, and it is devastating to watch. Lost to it. He just believes in conspiracy theories, right? I guess you can go kind of fucking crazy from that, but...
Yeah, you definitely can. My uncle... Not the one that lives here, but my uncle fucking...
Yeah, you were telling me about him.
Yeah, dude, he started stockpiling ammunition.
Oh my god.
And yeah, dude, he's probably a part of QAnon. He's fucking nuts.
Oh, jeez. This guy's responding to the guy being QAnon is more dangerous than the cult that instigated this entire C-19 scamdemic. I think you've been misled.
Ooh, we got a believer here.
That is what we got. This is part of another thread. Let's continue to this thread.
Let's get him. Let's just go down this rabbit hole, you know?
Wow, this thread is not long at all. It's just got one response to it.
Damn.
It's just so this is you saying you think COVID is fake. And that's where it ends. That's weak. This is a subreddit for that isn't. Reddit is such a cancer. I hate it. I never use it, so there's just links to all kinds of shit.
Also, one of the really funny parts about all this, looking into it, is the CEO of Wayfair is a Trump supporter and has like donated a shit ton of money to like the RNC and all this stuff. And so like the fact that most of these QAnon people are, well, not even most, all of them are Republicans. Because I think that's like, I don't really think you could be like, yeah, I'm part of QAnon, but I support them Democratic fucking child molesters. Like, that doesn't seem like it.
I mean,
exists. I mean, it probably does because people are stupid, but
yeah. So this guy saying, he's like, although it seems possible, why would they use the real names of the girls if it were true? Doesn't make sense to me. And then someone's like, because they never thought it would get leaked by people not involved in this. It's like,
but it would, like, Wayfair's not some rink-a-dink fucking like furniture store down on 3rd Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, like obviously it would get leaked. Apparently somebody in the thread I'm reading was saying though that like, because somebody had commented, they were like, man, if I ordered an armoire and it showed up at my house and it was a little girl standing there staring at me, like I'd be pretty freaked out. And the person was saying that like in the cases where stuff like this is actually done, basically what happens is like the armoire would still get delivered to you, and then you would take like your purchase information to a third party that would then trade you the child for the armoire, which is still fucking crazy.
Wait, hold on. How does that even work? You're saying, hold on.
Let me scroll back up and I'll read you the comment.
The way that sounded is like, it sounds like you could have ordered this thing and potentially there's a child in it. And if there is, then you give that information back to Wayfair or some shit, and then they just come and take the child. That's the way that sounded to me. What?
No. So you would just get the armoire. No child involved. But so like if you were actually trying to buy a kid though.
Oh, this is okay.
So like if Wayfair was actually trafficking in children.
So the theory there. So all right, go ahead.
Is that they wouldn't just mail you a kid. They would send you the armoire like you're supposed to get. And then apparently there would be a third party that would be involved in all this. And so after you received the armoire, you would then go to this third party and give them your purchase information. And they would essentially take that armoire from you and give you a kid in exchange.
Well, what if you really needed that armoire?
Well, then I guess you wouldn't be trying to buy kids on Wayfair.
Well, I don't know. You might. I don't know. I don't know who the fuck buys children. They might need an armoire.
Okay, so yes. This person's describing the actual situation and the way people do it with like money laundering and stuff. So they said, generally the way it works is like money laundering for drugs and such. You actually do get the advertised good that is marked way overpriced. However, you take that and the purchase information to a third party and then exchange for the other good that you can't legally buy on the open market. The overpriced thing is only there for moving the money around, but only makes sense to exploit for those in the know. Usually this kind of thing may be more common with art and antiques being the front-end items, though, as stupid high prices in those markets are way less suspicious. So.
Yee.
I mean, I get that doesn't...
It stopped fucking recording for some fucking reason.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been like that. Whatever. It's working now.
It's okay. This can just kind of be a practice one, too.
Yeah.
Get a little shit under our belt.
Yeehaw. Well, now that I'm recording again. Fucking... I want to go back to that whole thing. Like, fucking logistically speaking, so if the idea is that you buy this piece of furniture and then you bring your purchase, whatever, details to whoever the hell.
See, that's the part that I'm wondering about, not to interrupt you, but like this third party that's somehow involved, like it seems like you're involving a lot of people in this at this point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like
this is like some CIA level shit where it's like you gotta have people like trained for years. You gotta know they're not gonna fucking. You gotta have like a chip implanted in you. Well, it's gonna kill you if you speak a certain words.
Not only that, but like Wayfair again is like a worldwide company. So you have to have like some dude in fucking Wichita that can like that can sell somebody a kid real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It just the logistics of it. There would be a lot more kids that would have to be missing. I feel like if you could just get because like.
Well, yeah.
I think there are a decent amount of child predators. So,
Yeah.
So if you could just buy kids on Wayfair, like everybody's kids would be missing.
I mean, unless they're doing some crazy shit like breeding them like test tube babies.
Maybe. Or this brings in a whole nother conspiracy that we've briefly discussed. The Disney World conspiracy. Maybe they're just stealing kids.
Oh, you mean
crazy.
like lost kids?
Yeah. So like people think that like hundreds of kids are going missing at Disney World every year. And it goes back, like, I think the conspiracy is, a lot of these conspiracies are honestly based in truthfully weird shit. So like with the Disney World one, like Disney technically has their own law enforcement. Like Disney World is its own city essentially.
That's ridiculous.
And in the surrounding area. So they have their own police force, they have their own like utility shit, they have their own fire departments, all that stuff. So that in and of itself is kind of weird. So I can sort of see where it comes from, but then people take it to this whole level where they're like, well, they have their own police and so many kids visit there every year. And like, and I'm sure like there's truth to the number that like 325 kids or whatever the fuck it was go missing at Disney World a year. But I imagine that's like reported cases that were reported to the park. So it's like somebody who couldn't find their kid for an hour.
Yeah.
And so I imagine if you actually looked into it, most of those kids have been found and like weren't missing at all.
I mean, I don't even know how the hell you would access that information because it's not like a normal missing persons report.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure they write up a report or something.
It may be public information. You know, companies do release a lot of weird shit like that. And so it wouldn't surprise me if Disney World was releasing how many, you know, fucking lost kids cases they had per year. But again, somebody takes that information and it turns into like missing children, and Disney has their own police, and so they don't investigate it, and yeah, just all this fucking and then it's like right next to the Everglades too, kind of. So people are like, they're probably burying all the kids in the Everglades. Nobody would ever find them.
Jesus Christ.
That's how all this shit is, though, man. It's just like it starts out with like this fairly, like I said, something that's just like a tiny bit weird, and then somebody's like, well, what if this? And then their fucking like high cousin is like, oh my, yeah, man, that might be true.
So, but what I was gonna mention, so this giant, like, let's suppose like that whole thing is real. For one, where the fuck are they? Where are they based out of? I can't imagine you just have multiple people around this country, or multiple like groups around the country that are harboring children, and then somehow like, how the hell do you even go about getting the location to this place? Like, how do you just say, I want this cabinet? Do you get an email? That would be so easy to check.
Well, and again,
or
like,
maybe
so
no, I don't know.
At the massive scale that this would have to be going on, it just wouldn't be plausible to hide it. Like, you'd have to have like warehouses of children all over the country, and not even all over the country, all over the fucking world.
Yeah. Or I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what fucking Area 51 is. There we go. Open up a new conspiracy.
Just a giant child warehouse.
God. Like, I mean, you'd literally have to have something like that. Some crazy, like, just warehouse out in the middle of the Nevada desert, guarded.
I'm imagining somebody being really pissed when they get their kid because they're like, God damn it, this is a fucking mispick. This is not the kid I was supposed to get. These motherfuckers. And like having to call customer service and shit. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, do they have customer service?
Like, listen, I asked for a very specific kind of kid. And
we're sorry about that, sir. We'll get this sorted out right away. What,
yeah, like,
what model did you want? Originally. Oh, I see. Right here. The Asian.
Oh, yep, I can see. We have one in C3 and one in C4, so I can see they must have just got it mixed up. They pulled from C4.
Wrong bunker. They're right beside each other. Oh my God.
But like, it would have to be like that.
I know.
To be at this level that they think, and
Of course, honestly, I don't know how picky a child predator really is. If I'm being honest, I'm sure they don't. I mean, I'm sure they don't have fucking customer service, but goddamn,
but
you would literally have to have I can't see it being more than one location in the country for one, and then let's say you live on the East Coast. Now you have to drive out to fucking Nevada to get to deliver this information, to then get a child, to then get all the way back here with a child.
And like I said, what about that dude that's living in fucking like Billings, Montana or something? Like, that's way out there. Who's servicing that territory?
Yeah, exactly. Like, they would have to have they'd have to be like Amazon, like fucking have a goddamn whatever it's called, fulfillment center.
And that's not even getting into the most like
multiple states
ridiculous aspect of this, which is to assume that, like, again, I think there are probably a decent amount of child predators out there, but like the assumption through this conspiracy, which is essentially linked to QAnon, however the fuck you say that, but is like that every person in power is a pedophile. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. It seems like there would have to be somebody that would get up there and be like, I just don't like fucking kids.
Yeah. There's got to be one of them, right?
It's not my thing. Like, I don't know. And it's not like there's a bunch of senators just getting like killed off, or like politicians. So like,
what do you think happened to Ruth? Fucking what's her goddamn?
Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She just didn't like fucking the kids, and so off she goes.
Her like Rutabaga. Rutabaga Ginsburg.
But yeah, it's like, all of these people cannot possibly molest children. I don't think. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't know. I get also, it wasn't that long ago that I was a child, and nobody ever tried to molest me. I feel like there would be more kids with near misses on getting molested.
If it was that huge of a problem, probably. And actually, for all you know, you don't know. You could have had people stalking you. Just never had a right moment. They just never quite got to you. Like, damn, parents always near them, being good parents.
I had like this unreasonable fear of being kidnapped as a child, and it's fucked up now that I think about it. But my dad used to tell me, like, to chill me out. He'd be like, "Don't worry, they don't steal little boys."
Oh my god, Jesus!
Yeah,
it's awful.
At the time, made me feel a lot better. I was like, "Yep, that makes sense."
It makes sense to my 5-year-old brain.
Yep.
Fuck. God, dude. What an awful thing to tell your child.
Yep. Okay. Grade A dad right there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like, no, don't worry, I'm gonna protect you. Just like, don't worry, nobody would want to fucking steal you, you little piece of shit.
Oh, God. Let's go to...
But, like, so there's some more details to this, apparently, too, that, like, someone was alleging that if you ran... What? I don't even know how to describe this, but, like, if you used the Wayfair site through, like, the Russian...
Like a server?
Server, I guess, yeah. And entered in particular, like, SKU numbers for these cabinets, that it would display pictures of children.
Jesus.
Shit. And I mean, obviously, I cannot speak to the truth of that, but
I'm not gonna find out.
I can essentially speak to the truth of that and say that that's not true. Because so we're talking about this elite pedophile ring. I mean, we're kind of being sarcastic about the child warehouses, but it would have to be something like that. So like they have this huge logistical network and all this shit, and then they're just slipping up all of a sudden. They're like, yeah, we should post the real names of the children as the names of the cabinet. Also, like, what if two people order the same what if two people order Lucy? Like, what's the deal?
God. Have a fucking duel.
Yeah, old time duel. Somebody has to slap somebody in the face with an empty glove. Like,
I don't fucking know what happens with that.
Yeah, so it
wouldn't.
See,
but...
well, it wouldn't, and I mean, I don't think we have to worry about what would happen in that case because this is obviously like not even plausible. That's so. What I want to know,
well,
and eventually, like I've told, I want to bring these people on this podcast, and maybe I said we would ridicule them, but maybe not because I want to. How the fuck do you suspend all disbelief and believe this? Like,
well, yeah, I don't really want to ridicule people. I just want to know at what point it like gets to where you're just like, yeah, this makes total sense to me.
Like, I honestly want to get some of these people on and probably encourage them to go to therapy or something.
Well, I mean, God damn, like you must have you have to do a deep dive on Google or something like to even get this information, like to get all the information you would need to be able to believe some shit like this. Like,
I feel like it's even beyond that, because like I think, and not to say it's just 4chan or 8chan or whatever the fuck it is these days, but like I think you have to be a part of these communities that are essentially just echo chambers. And so it's like
probably.
It's one person posting some, story that if you just seen the headline and you didn't have any details on it, you'd be like, oh shit, that's fucked up. But then you have 100 people in the comments like just essentially corroborating that.
Yeah.
Without anybody actually having done any research. If you believed in these conspiracies or whatever, you'd just be talking about it to like somebody in your town and they would be like, wow, you sound like a fucking idiot. And then so you'd just be like, oh shit, that does sound dumb. Whereas now you can find these communities on the internet of other dumbass fucking people who are like, oh, you know what? That sounds reasonable. And so then again, it just turns into this echo chamber where no matter how dumb the fucking idea is, you have enough people corroborating it to it gives it some validity in those people's head.
Ridiculous. So let's move on to BBC, their article, because I wonder how much of it like they go into and like debunk, because it says here, it's whatever.
I went into it a decent amount. Hold on, let me get back to it.
I'm sure it's just really going to be more of a story. Like, oh yeah, this is just ridiculous, blah blah blah. But I'm wondering how much, like, point by point they go through. Yeah. I was gonna say it looks like it's gonna go decently.
It sort of gets into like the backstory with QAnon, which I do feel like you need to know a little bit. Which is just QAnon basically believes there's this fucking like satanic cult of democratic. Well, I shouldn't say Democrats, not democratic people. We are all a democratic peoples in the United States. But they think there's like a satanic cult of Democrats who control mainstream media, Hollywood, music, everything, and that they fuck kids, and that Trump is like Jesus. One thing I thought was really interesting from this BBC article, because it really sounds like religion, is that, hold on, let me find it. It was either in this one or it was in a Forbes article I was looking at, but there's two major events that these QAnon people think is going to happen. There's one called like the fucking purge or something like that. And it's essentially when all these politicians and people in power are going to be brought to justice for their pedophilia. And then the second moment is called the Great Awakening. And that's for sure, like, that's legit. It's called the Great Awakening, and it's when the general public is going to realize that these QAnon people are not crazy and that they were right. And this is the fucking craziest part. And quote, after that happens, the world will live in utopia.
Sure.
So it's like, it is a borderline cult, honestly, that they think Trump is like this fucking savior to rise up to bring all pedophiles to justice so that pedophilia can be stamped out.
But like he's also considered a fucking pedophile by people.
Yeah, and I mean he was good friends with like the world's most famous pedophile right now, Epstein.
Yeah.
And,
there's a lot of people that were like, quote unquote, well, actually, let me not say quote unquote good friends, but I mean, people take like a picture of just anyone with him and be like, that's suspicious. I'm like, I mean, it's a fucking picture at a billionaires rally thing.
That's what I was about to say too. Is like these dudes are just literally brushing elbows in an event, but like there's enough pictures of Trump with him in like different instances where I think they were definitely friends, but a lot of people are connected to this. Like, there's a lot of Democrats and Republicans alike. Fucking, I think Bill Clinton was probably definitely a part of it.
Yeah, well, he's fucking crazy these days.
And
so.
well, I mean, and not to like defend Bill Clinton in any way, but like, is anybody surprised that Bill Clinton might like to fuck underage women? You know, that's not the most. And I'm again not defending him. It's fucking gross. But if you had to show me like a group of politicians and be like, which one fucks like 16-year-old girls, I'd be like, definitely Bill Clinton. Like, him and Trump would be probably neck and neck for
the neck and turkey neck.
Yeah, and honestly, like, they probably were doing it together. It wouldn't surprise me, because like, that's the crazy thing too is Trump was like a huge donor to Bill Clinton and like a lot of Democrats. Trump was a Democrat for a long time and donated to all these people's campaigns and all that shit. And so yeah, he probably fucked kids with Bill Clinton and Epstein. And then like Prince Andrew is fucking involved in this, the prince from England. And like the FBI wants to fucking interview him and he won't come to the United States.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much validity there is to any of that. I'm not going to suggest that they were possibly fucking kids together, but goddamn.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying on a recording that Bill Clinton is fucking kids. Definitely not saying that. Don't murder me.
No one knows. This isn't released yet. No one knows who we are. Fucking, God, man. Always getting texts from fucking election people.
Fuck the election people also.
It's like, just leave me alone. Fucking block and delete every single one of their numbers.
I haven't gotten too many, thankfully.
Dude, I get like
I got
three a day.
I got like one, but they have been fucking leaving ballots taped to my door and like my mailbox.
I haven't had anything
and shit.
like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
let's see. This part of the article from BBC just explains what Wayfair is, and this is what Wayfair is saying. When it comes to why some of its items are named after children, Wayfair has explained that the company uses an algorithm to name its products. Other retailers also use first names to brand their products. It acknowledged that the high prices listed may have led to confusion, but says the particular cabinets are large, industrial-size items meant for business or commercial use. I mean, both of those things. I mean, yeah. I mean, fucking commercial child trafficking.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, why wouldn't she name the cabinet after the actual child?
Yeah, it makes total sense to me. A spokesperson told BBC News, "We have temporarily removed the products from our site to rename them and to provide a more in-depth description and photos that accurately depict the product to clarify the price amounts." Now they're going to show like the child
got caught.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You look at it through this one lens and that's what it seems like. Now they're going to update the pictures and the little child's going to be poking out the little doors.
Right.
Like, see? Now we're just being honest about it. Everyone's going to just die down. Everything's going to die down. They're like, oh, see, it's all we wanted from the beginning. Just honesty.
Also, like, the root. So I've kind of looked into the roots of, like, the QAnon thing. And so apparently there was this guy posting on 4chan under, like, the tag fucking Patriot Clearance Q. And so Clearance Q is the highest clearance that the Department of Energy gives out. As far as
Department of Energy?
Yeah, they're the one who oversees nuclear weapons, technically. So apparently a Q clearance for the Department of Energy is like a big fucking deal because you have like clearances to know shit about nukes. I don't fucking know. But anyway, that's who was posting, and so that's where the QAnon comes from. And so he's supposedly like an insider in the deep state, you know, because there's this deep state that's trying to fucking hold Trump down, which I get total ridiculous. If that were the case, why would they let him lose the popular vote but still become president? But I don't even want to get into the politics of that. But
hold on, I gotta get the fucking beers.
Oh yeah, let's get those beers.
Okay. Yeet.
But shit, what was I talking about?
Oh yeah, some shit.
So the roots of QAnon, they think this dude with like this super high security clearance was like releasing all of these fucking like inside information on Interestingly enough, only Democrats being pedophiles. That's another weird part of it. Is no Republicans fuck kids, only Democrats.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
But I don't remember where I'm going with this.
I don't know.
That beer's pretty good though. I'm drinking the pumpkin ale with spices from Foothills Brewing, and I have to say, was not expecting to like a pumpkin ale, but it's kind of fucking good actually.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt about that other one, the Noda from Noda. Like, I wasn't expecting to like it. So I'm drinking Clawhammer Oktoberfest by Highland Brewing, and it tastes like beer. It just tastes like fucking beer to me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad. I've never had an Oktoberfest before, so it's the first for me as well.
Yeah, I think this is the first pumpkin beer I've had, just because I tend to resist that, but it's like if you made pumpkin pie into a beer.
Yeah, that's exactly how the other one was for me. I was like, and I don't like I don't know. I'm gonna try pumpkin pie for the first time this year as well.
You've never tried pumpkin pie?
Not since I was like a kid, and I wasn't about it because it just, I don't know, something about it as a kid. I thought it was gross, and I haven't tried it since. And I don't know if my taste buds have changed or if it's literally always been good to me. I just didn't know it. But like when I tried that pumpkin beer, I was like, this tastes just how a pumpkin pie smells. And I love the way a pumpkin pie smells because it just brings me into the season. And so now I'm gonna try pumpkin pie this year at Thanksgiving. I remembered where I was going with the Trump. So there's like this dude in the deep state who's releasing all this shit, right? But like, how many people do we think have this security Q clearance? Like, it can't. If it's such a big fucking deal and it's like the top clearance in the Department of Energy, it can't be that many, right? So we're talking maybe 200 people, 500 people. What do you? I don't. Well, considering I didn't even know what the fucking Department of Energy was before you just mentioned. I don't know how big it is. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, they run a lot of other stuff. But I'm just saying, to get that Q clearance where you actually have information on the nuclear weapons, it can't be met, no matter how big the department is.
I don't know. Yeah, out of the whole country, maybe. See, I'm sitting here thinking like this is like top level shit, maybe like 10 fucking people, but I don't know. I have no idea.
See, so if it was 10 people, that's either even further gonna make what I say.
Well, let's be generous.
But like, so I want to say like 100. Let's say there's 100.
All right.
That's still only 100 people that you have to look at and be like, which dumb fuck is releasing this information? Like, whose internet history do we have to go? Like, so we know about the NSA and all this shit, and like literally all of our communications are being fucking watched in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Or can be. Like, not, maybe they aren't in real time, but if the government wants to, they can find out what the fuck you've been looking at on your phone.
Yeah, easily.
So, again, if there's only like 100 fucking people that have this clearance, you don't think it would take them an hour to look through these 100 people's bullshit and be like, oh, yep, it was you. Yeah.
Like, you like second result on the guy. Oh, you're the first person we looked at.
Yeah.
Fucking retard.
So, like, it's, again, just another thing that's not even plausible. That this person with this super high security clearance would be on 4chan release. First, they decided to release it on 4chan too. Like, what? They didn't decide to go to some news outlet and be like, hey, listen, wire me 50 G's. I got the biggest fucking story you've ever heard in your life.
The news outlets are run by the Democratic Satanists.
And so another thing that's just so crazy. Where have people gotten this idea that the media is one entity?
So I think the idea of it just kind of plays into kind of like how when you think of government, like when you sit back and like you look at like two presidential candidates, you're just like, one of you's gonna fuck me no matter what, a little bit or a lot of it, but you're both like, no matter what, no one's losing here, because there's always like that. I don't know. I could see where like someone would think that like Democrats and Republicans, they're all in the same fucking boat. They're just like almost just sowing discord just for the sake of it, to keep the country divided and occupied while they do shady shit. Which stuff like that does happen. Like they pass little laws here or there that might be shady, but they throw something else out there like I don't know, fucking whenever is it Congress that goes into like recess or whatever.
Recess, yeah.
Yeah, and so like that like takes up the whole thing during this, like that'll take up all the news outlets right now. And so then people then associate, because there's like the left and the right media. You got like Fox News, and then you got like CNN, like the two kind of big heads. But like people will sit there and be like, well, it's all just kind of, they're probably just in the same boat. They're just running articles that gets them views. They don't give a shit. They're all making money.
So they are. But like what I don't understand is like, so CNN and Fox News theoretically would have different end game. Like the way people talk about it is that the media is all this one group that's lumped together and they all want the same thing. And it's like, that can't be possible because like conservatives watch news too. You know what I mean? So they have to be getting their news somewhere. So like their news sources don't even have the same goal as liberal news sources. Like there's definitely liberal and conservative news sources, but that's, I guess, why I don't understand where people don't understand that the media isn't this one entity. Like, I mean, I think every media outlet has its own interests, and
I think a lot of people quite literally see it as like some like almost like James Bond villain-esque shit where it's like,
no, absolutely,
you just threw two of your henchmen out there, and one henchman's sowing discord on this side, the other's doing it on this side, and then they all come home together and have, I don't know, Dom Perignon and fucking, and they're just all like, ha ha, we have won.
A lot of these conspiracy people, like, I feel like have never had to fucking, like, be a manager at any level in their job. Because it's like, if you had managed at any level of even just, like, a convenience store, like, it could have 5 employees. You'd realize that you can't get five people, any 5 fucking people to be on board with anything. Like, the level of organization that these conspiracy theorists think is going on behind the scenes in the world just blows my mind, because I'm like, you should just see like how a Walmart is run. It's just complete fucking disarray. Like, you can't get people to do what they're supposed to.
In all fairness though, like the whole thought process I imagine behind this is like essentially like politicians, like they're almost like groomed in a way, like to be this thing, this next, like the next politician, fucking like I'm sure that we could find some conspiracies about that out there, like for presidents and shit.
Oh, I could tell you about one.
Running separate campaigns, but like they all get in there and they all sign, the crazy blood oath, and fucking now you will give your life away to the fucking country. And
so we have a crazy
the Illuminati's goals.
We have a crazy coworker who was just telling me about a conspiracy just like this the other morning, and basically it's that like these senators, these politicians, basically they take like their interns, right? And they ask them to do these really morally questionable things. And they weed out the people that will and won't do those things. Okay. And the people that will do those things are the people that are then shepherded into becoming the next politicians. And so that everybody kind of has dirt on everybody, but everybody also knows that like these people are willing to do what they have to do. Which I think is true at a certain level, but I don't think like, again, it's not plausible that every single politician is groomed that way. Because, like, not that we would necessarily win, but, like, you or me could run for fuck. It's just, like, so many people would have to be in on so much and actually keep their mouth shut that it's not plausible. Like, so any of these people at some point would have money to be made by, like, writing a book or, it would get out there.
There's that. And see, even that response, though, is like, it's a breeding ground for just, like, questions. Because they're like, people will hear you say that, like, it's just not plausible. But then they'll think about the and then they're just like, but what if it is? Like, what if this is, like they're almost like it's a fucking movie where there really is this giant, like, Illuminati group out there that controls everything, and we're all just their little puppets or whatever. Like, there's people that believe this, and so, like, that response, like, if you gave them that response, they'd just be like...
it just feeds it more.
It's just throwing shit at a wall, like...
I would like to see, like, a study done on the people who believe in conspiracy theories, and, like, their predisposition to also believing in, like, UFOs and Bigfoot
yeah.
and shit like that. Because I guarantee you those are like, that's a good, is that called a Venn diagram?
What?
When you have the circles that interlock and there's the middle, there's a big interlocking portion of those groups. I feel like that.
I mean, probably. I mean, I feel like those are almost like starters. You know how like they say like weed is the gateway drug. Well, Bigfoot's the gateway fucking drug
to QAnon.
Yeah, to QAnon. Believe in Bigfoot, you're in QAnon.
Yeah.
Fucking
maybe.
dumb.
I mean, in a way, Bigfoot's actually more believable.
I mean,
like, but I guess once you
yeah.
Again, once you like willing to suspend disbelief for this one thing, I feel like you're willing to suspend disbelief for more stuff. So again, you have this big like people who are flat earthers probably cross over a good portion with people who, you know, believe in QAnon and people who believe in all this shit. I'm
sure. I mean, like, it's weird to it's like subgenres. Like, it's weird.
Conspiracy theories, they're all just like subgenres.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I imagine there's people out there who believe in some and then believe and maybe don't believe in others. Like, I mean, yeah, like some conspiracies, like probably the most popular one, the fucking World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Like, that is just, I mean, that one there's so much like information on, like, there's so many people that believe it and so many that don't. And like,
so do you believe it?
Not fully. Like, it to me, like when I think about it, I'm like, that seems like something we could do if we want. Like, our government could do if they wanted. Like,
yeah.
Because then as soon as that happened, they just went over, just raped the Middle East for oil, and it's like, it seems plausible. Our government's not exactly fucking nice, or they don't really give a shit. They don't give a shit when if someone else has something we want, we're gonna invade them. But we're going to do it under some guise of like, oh, we're helping out this other country. Or, oh, you attacked us. Like, I can't remember what it was. I think we read about it in school. There's something like where essentially we sank one of our own warships, like on purpose.
Yeah, during like World War II, I think.
Yeah, something like that to like get us involved in some conflict.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the exact details of it, but I mean, so that's also part of I think the breeding ground for some of these conspiracy theories is because like the government has definitely done some fucked up shit. Like, yeah, I think there's a couple false flag events from back in like the 50s and 60s, like Cold War type shit, that are like proven that the government has admitted that like they did. And shit like that. So like it does, I can understand at a certain level how it's because I don't trust the government. Like I feel like I'm distrusting of the government, but I also just, again, I think like this level of organization that it would take for any of this stuff to be going on without anybody coming out and running their fucking mouth. Like,
I mean, well, God, I don't know, man. Cause like you got the CIA and shit, where they definitely do shady shit.
Oh, yeah.
I have no fucking idea what they do. Cause I'll never be a part of that world, hopefully.
Yeah, right.
But, like, God knows what they do, and I'm sure it all goes against the Geneva Convention. Just everything. But fucking, they have people that just keep their mouths shut about shit for their whole lives under threat of just death.
Yeah. I mean, so I sort of imagine, again, the government, though, like, because for some of the stuff to be going on, you'd have to have all these different government agencies all on the same page. And I kind of, it's probably stupid, but I always go back to, like, remembering the campaign from GTA 5 when you're doing those undercover kind of missions for, like, I forget what the fuck it's called. It's called, like, the FIB in GTA or whatever. But, like, they're basically rivaling with the other intelligence agency, and it culminates with you like having to fucking just like get in a shootout essentially with the other fucking intelligence agency, and it just like shit hitting the fan. And it's like, yeah, all the like the FBI and the CIA aren't probably on the same page on everything. Like getting everybody on the same page across all government agencies to be like, yep, we got this big pedophile ring going on, need you to cover it up. Like you can't. Not that many people can possibly have the same interest.
No, yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, fucking, And I mean, like, the CIA and the FBI handle completely different fucking things. Like, FBI is mostly domestic things, whereas CIA is shit everywhere. Just they
And
handle
see,
shit
I didn't
around
even
the
know
world.
that.
Well, you didn't know. Well, yeah.
I didn't know that the CIA handled like mostly like international.
I don't know if it's mostly, but I know they can be involved in international shit, whereas the FBI really won't be. I mean, they will to some degree, but not to the extent that I think the CIA. Let me fact check. Let me not just spew
And
off.
I mean, I'm not disputing you. I just like I never really thought I've never really considered what the FBI and the CIA do, to be honest with you, which it sounds dumb maybe, but like
I don't
know.
think about it too often, but let's see.
I guess I think about the FBI and the CIA like investigating these crimes, but on like a much broader level, like kind of like mafia type shit.
Let's see. Blah blah blah. So. Oh Jesus! What is happening? Come on. Oh God! What is this? It's in a different language. Yeah. So the main functions of the CIA include overseas intelligence and intelligence gathering and covert action. The FBI, on the other hand, protect the U.S. from like terrorist attacks and shit. Yeah. Okay.
It seems like it's essentially the same thing, just saying it in different words, though.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just wanted to confirm. Oh, no, because I mean, the FBI would be. I mean, the FBI doesn't give a fuck about terrorist attacks in another country. Other countries have their own versions of FBI.
Yeah,
for
but
theirs.
I mean, does the CIA or is the CIA like investigating overseas to like make sure that like they're not training a bunch of fucking Afghanis to come over here and fly planes into our buildings again?
Probably. Or they're out there training them to do it, and then that's how you get 9/11.
I was about to. Yeah, it's allegedly.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't want.
This is all just bullshit.
I don't need Dick Cheney banging on my door later. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly banging on the door.
Yeah, I just feel like there would be easier ways to do it too. Like,
I mean,
because like
the dark web exists.
Well, the dark web exists, and obviously, like, child sex trafficking exists. I'm not disputing the fact that there is a ring of children being trafficked for sex, like, which is disgusting. But I think it has to be on like a much smaller, like, fucking rink-a-dink, like meet me in the parking lot of a Walmart.
I wouldn't even expect there, man.
Like,
it's got to be. There's got to be more covertness to it. Because, I mean, like, the shit happens, and they have to be covert about it, so they would not be meeting in a fucking Walmart.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in my head, I was just remembering this news story where this crackhead tried to sell his fucking infant child for $20 in the Walmart parking lot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, thankfully the lady he tried to sell it to fucking called the cops.
Well, like, how do you even show up there first? Like, how are you just, like...
He was so in this crazy store. He was just approaching people who were walking out of the Walmart,
okay.
like, "Hey, do you want to buy my baby?"
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this was like, oh yeah, this lady got called. She had it all planned. She got there and then just was like, man, this feels wrong. Now, all of a sudden, I'm gonna call the cops.
No, but I feel like they did. I don't know. I should be researching this stuff before I speak on it. But I feel like some Republican politician did get busted. Like, he wasn't like trying to buy the little girl, but like he fucking had made this arrangement with the mom and like was meeting them in an airport and was about to fucking take this little girl somewhere. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yikes.
Yeah, but it was like a sting, thankfully. It's like, again, the shit's going on, and like there are probably some rich, powerful people involved in it. But it can't be like just go to, like you said, the dark web exists, fucking, and all these people, so like these major politicians and powerful people, they have somebody that like knows somebody that knows somebody that sells kids. Like,
yeah, probably.
Like, if that's how it goes down, that's how it goes down. You know, it's not like, oh, we need to go place an order on Wayfair. It's like, hey, I need you to call Mark and see like what his connections are to some cheese pizza.
Fucking, and like to think about it, like, so, God, hypothetically, if all these politicians were doing this, it would be as simple as having the FBI or whoever investigate. Just look up their fucking search history.
But that's the thing is, they think the FBI's in on it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say. Like, that's just not even a plausible option for these people. And I mean, like, but God, if it was really that high stakes, like, then the FBI would probably actually be monitoring all these politicians.
And do they honestly
make sure
not
that
think
information stays safe?
That there would be that one FBI employee who's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a second fucking
like
day.
a Snowden. Like,
yeah, like second fucking day. He's like, man, shit's kind of fucked up. Everyone's around. Just no, man, it's cool. Just work through it a little bit, and it'll be fine.
It's cool. After 30 days, you get your own kid. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Isn't that what you signed up for? Well, yeah, but I don't know. This is a little too hot for me.
It's kind of weird.
I didn't know this many other people were involved.
Is it any kind of kid I want?
He's got to think about it for a second.
But, like, in my head, as I'm thinking about how ridiculous this whole thing is, then I remember, like, cases where, like, seriously powerful people were molesting children. Like, that fucking I mean, I guess he wasn't that powerful, but fucking Jared, the Subway guy. It's kind of laughable in my head when I think of him.
Was he actually molesting kids? I thought
no, he just had a shit ton of child porn.
Yeah, he had... God. You know, you ever... Okay, this is a little... Not really off topic, but you ever fucking notice that people get caught for child porn just have, like, terabytes of this shit?
Yeah, like...
Like, why?
How do you even accumulate that much?
Well, that's my thing. Like, goddamn, like, why do you need so much of it?
And, like, the stupidity of that guy in particular, because I don't even know if you know how he got caught, but he got caught because he made this lady was, like, doing a piece for him for some magazine or something. And he made an offhand remark to her about how he liked girls once they turned 13 because that's when their boobs started to grow. Oh, and I'm like, why would you just like
say that?
And again, not defending Jared in any way, but why would you just willy-nilly fucking say that to somebody you don't even know? He didn't even say this to like a friend or somebody. He said this to a random acquaintance. Like a professional acquaintance, not...
Well, that's my thing, too. And, like, you're famous as shit.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
And so, literally, she was like, wow, that was weird. Went and told, like, the FBI or somebody. They started looking into it, and sure fucking enough.
God damn, man.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is actually wrong? I feel like those people, there's something wrong with them even just beyond being a child molester.
There has
like
to be.
Into children.
Yeah. God damn.
Like, did he think the chick was going to be into it and be like, whoa, you're cool? Like,
you're like, oh, yeah, me too.
And, like, even if she was... That's such a shot in the fucking dark.
You're like, man, I've met this lady a few times. I'm going to see if she's into it. We can be friends.
Not even just like a normal, like a kind of normal fetish. They're like, let me just throw out this BDSM thing and see if she's into it. like I'm just gonna low key mention being into kids and see how she reacts.
Like you can't.
Yeah,
there's no low key way to do that.
And like the percentage of people that you're gonna hit on in that case is so fucking small.
I know. Like, what about this lady made you think?
Yeah, she honestly is probably wondering that about herself when it happened. She was like, what about me did this motherfucker think?
God.
Like, I would be insulted, honestly. Like, did he think I was into this?
Like, I just don't even understand that, like, how you get to that point. It just doesn't make any sense.
No.
Fucking.
But
none of this makes sense.
Yeah, none of it.
It's all cancer.
And I mean, shit, fucking these people like involved in the actual child sex ring, like literally none of it makes sense.
Trash.
Well, I'm off.
A lot of them.
I'm off to buy a cabinet at Wayfair.
Yep. See you next time, buddy. It'll be just me.
Well, it'll either be just you, or it'll be me, you, and my new son, Jose.
We just start rescuing kids from Wayfair.
Like those dudes who pose as children on the internet. And
yeah, to catch a predator.
But like, I'm talking about like the vigilante guys, not like there's just dudes on YouTube who just fucking pose as children and talk to pedophiles all day, and then just like, I keep saying just meet them in a Walmart parking lot, but they literally just like meet them in a Walmart parking lot. They're like, "What's up, bro? Not a fucking kid," and just like humiliate them.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a genre.
Oh my god.
And it's honestly, it's kind of like there's something deeply unsettling about the guys that do it. Like, because I'm not like into the genre, but like I've watched
is it a genre?
Yeah, no, like it's legit a genre. And like I think I watched like a Vice show about it or something, and they talked to like 3 dudes who did it, and they all seemed fucked in the head. And even the person who was hosting the show was like, "Doesn't it seem kind of weird to you that like you're just posing as a child, like still like kind of luring these dudes in?" And the guy was like, no. It's like, and it's like, I don't know. It is kind of weird that you're just sitting around posing as a 14-year-old girl all day.
Yeah,
like,
they should get that on that weird show, my Strange Addiction. I'm addicted to acting like a child and catching predators.
I'm addicted to luring pedophiles.
I mean, that's the least weird addiction you could probably have on that show.
And the thing, I never really know what their end game is, though, either, because, like, they meet the dudes, and then they basically just berate them, and I'm like,
they don't, like, call the police or something?
No, they don't call the police or anything. So they, like, meet up with the guy, and they're like, well, yeah, you were expecting to meet, like, a fucking 13-year-old girl, huh? And,
you know what?
And then
I guess I'm gonna go home.
Exactly. The dudes are always exactly like the guys are to Catch a Predator, where they're like, "No, man, I wasn't trying to meet no 13," and they just drive away. And that's literally like generally the apex of the confrontation is like one dude denying that he was there, and the other guy's like, "Yeah, you didn't text me that you want me to suck your fucking dick."
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it's just really awkward, and again, like something about the dudes that do it, I'm like, yeah, you're not as bad as a pedophile, but like I don't know, you're not in the right here.
I don't know. That's a weird thing because like, God, I mean, he kind of is in the right, but like it's weird that you wouldn't call or have the police involved. At that point, that's like something like that you're like getting into, like you just want to like.
I honestly don't know if the police could do anything though, because
why
like,
they do like what?
Well, because you're not an officer of the law, so you're not like. You can't do undercover shit, you know what I'm saying? And technically the person, even if they thought they were talking to a 15-year-old, was talking to you, a 37-year-old grown-ass man. So I don't think they've actually broken any laws. Like, again, not defending the guys that think they're talking to the children, but, like, I think the legality there is probably a gray area where it's like, yeah, well,
really?
Even though he thought he was meeting up with a 15-year-old, you're a 37-year-old and you're not an undercover officer, so...
That's weird. I mean, I understand it to some extent why you can't just arrest this guy because he hasn't... I don't know. Like... Because technically speaking, he didn't do anything wrong because he was just talking to a 37-year-old man. But, like, also technically speaking, he didn't know that. Yeah, no, he thinks he's about to go fuck a child.
Well, I think that's where police officers are sort of like, just let us handle this. Just let us do these undercover stings where we get these people.
They don't have the fucking... They're busy doing other shit, handling random fucking...
They are, but, like, if you read the newspaper... like, or just looking to arrest, they bust like 50 child fucking predators and fucking stings like that, like not weekly but like monthly, like like there's a shit ton of those stings where they're just like have an undercover officer posing as, you know, a 15-year-old girl, and fucking like a dude I went to fucking high school with got busted in one of those, and he's like out of jail now, and he like tries to talk to me on Facebook and shit, and I'm like, I don't know, you kind of like a child molester, bro.
How long was he in jail?
Like 2 years.
That's it.
Yeah. I guess, see, and not advocating for it, but when, like, you get busted in one of those things, you got caught before you actually molested anybody. So I feel like you usually get out pretty early.
At that point, I feel like maybe jail isn't even the right thing. You need some sort of rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's possible. Because, I mean, the way people, like, when you're wired a certain way, like, it would be like you don't choose to be fucking, like, gay or something like that. I imagine it's just something wrong in their fucking head.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so I don't know how you can just change them from the ground up.
We should probably just fucking chemically castrate them.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm just being for real. Like, I don't know.
They can still do awful things, though.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. They're supposedly not supposed to have the urge to anymore because they don't get sexual urges. That's what chemical castration is. Well, actually, I don't know though, because does it mean you don't get the urges, or does it just mean you're not physically able to get a boner? So this conversation's taking a weird turn.
I don't fucking know. Man.
Also,
I mean, I'd probably be on board for that. I mean, like, yeah, you need to not, like, if you are somehow going to be involved in the public, you need to not have the ability to do things.
I don't know, man. Like, it's getting into all that's like some weird shit, but like, I feel like we should give more people the death penalty. Like the death penalty should be a way fucking broader thing. Like, do you remember that episode of Parks and Rec where Fred Armisen plays the fucking like dignitary from that other country, and he's just listing all the shit that they put their fucking people in jail for?
Yes.
That's what I feel like the death penalty should be like. It should be like, didn't show up for a scheduled doctor's appointment, death penalty.
I don't know what to even say. Thank you for listening to episode 1 about Wayfair cabinets.
Kind of about Wayfair cabinets.
Yeah, kind of. It started out that way.
Yeah, this was a tad bit of a tangent podcast, I would say.
I mean, I imagine they're all gonna be like this.
I think we'll find a little bit of form. I think to an extent, there's always gonna be some tangenty stuff.
There has to be. Otherwise, this would be boring as shit.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye. I don't know how to end it.